I'm going to be rebuilding the Buffalo Bills, but with the new addition of Keon Coleman. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes, and I'll do whatever rebuild the top comment says. But for the Bills offseason, they lost a lot of players in Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Tre'Davious White. And for their defense, I mean, overall, Von Miller has completely regressed. I mean, I don't think he's terrible, but he's not always healthy, and this contract is really not good for the future of the Bills. So I'll be looking to cut him or even trade him later down in the rebuild. But they did get La'el Collins in the offseason, so that's a decent addition, I guess. It's not a crazy signing. They did get O'Cyrus Torrence. I'm going to be starting Dalton Kincaid, and I was told if you put the tight end in the slot, you can run a double tight end set. So I'm going to be putting Dawson Knox in the slot so that way I can rotate through these tight ends, because other than Keon Coleman here, you got MVS and then Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir here, which isn't really, of course, the best wide receiving core in the NFL. Maybe Coleman is amazing off the rip, but we don't quite know about that yet. And defensively, Ed Oliver, he got a huge payday, I believe, last year. We got Gregory Rousseau, who's a beast in simulation. Rasul Douglas, I believe they also got from free agency, or was he already here? He might have already been here. I just completely blanked on that. And then Kyer here, first round pick out of Florida, hasn't really been doing that great. But in Madden, he has a star dev, and he is young, so maybe he'll be good. They got Deion Jones, which wasn't really much of a replacement for Tremaine Edmonds, who signed last year with the Chicago Bears, not this year. But Matt Milano, very underrated linebacker in the NFL. And for the rest of the team, I mean, there's a lot of players that we do need to replace here, but I would say the Bills are definitely on a downtrend. Josh Allen seemed to be the only guy carrying this team last year. I mean, Stephon Diggs, he had a lot of targets, he had a lot of receptions, but at the same time, he really sold in that playoff game against the Chiefs. So now it's up to Josh Allen to hopefully rebuild the team, and maybe Keon Coleman, so that would be sick. But for now, let's move into the midseason mark. At the midseason mark, we are 6-1 top of the division, so I guess Josh Allen is carrying us with our offensive points per game being second, our offensive passing game being first. Defensive points per game is first. Defensive passing game is 28th, though, now that we no longer have Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer. So with that being said, my scouting national focus will be safety. For the players ready to negotiate, we have Taylor Rapp here, who I wouldn't mind back, but he just has no interest in being here. He wants to be in Washington. I thought he meant Washington, D.C. I was like, D.C. is really not that far from Buffalo, but either way, it's the actual Washington state, not D.C. AJ Epineza, I remember all the hype about this guy. Frank Gore Jr., he was a free agency signing, so his contract should only be 1 year, technically, since he wasn't drafted in the NFL, so that's actually the correct contract, and he doesn't even want to be in Buffalo. He doesn't want state income tax, dog. You were an undrafted free agent. You don't really have much to choose from there. David Edwards, I don't want him. I already have O'Cyrus Torrence. Then Gregory Rousseau, I'd rather not accept the option. I'd rather just pay him out his contract while I can. So I'm going to pass on all these guys. 6-1. Let's move into the playoffs. And despite the Bills regressing in the offseason, they made the playoffs at the top of the division. The Jets, with Aaron Rodgers, healthy Aaron Rodgers, by the way, because I turned off injury, still go 7-10 and proceed to miss the playoffs. Our offensive points per game dropped from 1st to 13th, but our defense actually improved in our passing game. Stats and awards, Josh Allen, 3rd in passing yards, but 24th in passing touchdowns. And then 5th best offense, 5th best defense here. He has 4,500 yards, 21 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 100 pass rating. Honestly, I mean, this definitely is a good season overall. I mean, maybe lackluster in touchdowns. Yeah, it looks like James Cook and Ray Davis here ate all the touchdowns on the goal line. So that makes sense. So I can't really be mad at this season, because James Cook, of course, eating here, but only 3.9 per carry. Nothing crazy. Josh Allen with 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Ray Davis just eating on these goal line touches, I guess. Keon Coleman with 104 receptions, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. Crazy rookie season that already deserves superstar dev after that kind of a season. Curtis Samuel, only 1 touchdown, but almost 1,100 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 81 receptions, 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dawson Knox, I did the thing where I put Dawson Knox in the slot so that way I can have a 2 tight end set here. He has 2 touchdowns and 668 yards. James Cook with 2 receiving touchdowns. Matt Milano with 119 tackles for a loss, 15 for Von Miller, sacks 16 for Von Miller. Despite him regressing in real life, in Madden, he's crazy. I'm going to keep him until like he stops producing numbers for me. Who knows? Maybe Von Miller just revives his career magically in this upcoming season. But Gregory Rousseau with 15.5 sacks, 5.5 for Daquan Jones, interceptions 4 for Rasul Douglas, safeties on the team at 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. Can Keon Coleman beat Ladd McConkey here in his first ever playoff game against the Chargers? He does, 30-24. And of course, we got to play the Chiefs in the divisional round. It's just a rotating thing. Will we lose, 4 times in a row to the Chiefs? And no, for the first time ever, Josh Allen has beat Pat Mahomes in the divisional round of the playoffs. I'm pretty sure this is the first time. Maybe it's the second time. I could be wrong. Here to face the 16-1 Baltimore Ravens in the conference championship. As a Ravens fan, I would be much happier to face the Bills in the conference championship than the Chiefs. Here we are against the Ravens in the conference championship. No Tre'Davious White, no Jordan Poyer, no Micah Hyde, no Stephon Diggs, yet we still made it all the way here with Keon Coleman, who seems to be a beast in simulation. 21-7 game right now. Offense makes it 14-21 in this game. Very close. 4th and inches for the Ravens. Are they going to go for this? No, they just take their field goal here, make it a 2-score game. That should be the end of it for us. Game is on the line. We don't have the timeouts to really stop them, and that will be the game. 24-17. Still made it further than last year, so there's a lot to work on with this team, but it still seems like it's already off to a great start with Josh Allen. But anyways, let's move into the offseason. And the Niners lose another Super Bowl. What is that, 4 in a row now for the Niners? My God. 33-28. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. And wow, Rashee Rice gets glitched out for Rookie of the Year, whenever in reality it should have been Keon Coleman after his amazing season. In the AFC East, a bunch of Jets players, including Aaron Rodgers, retires, and Von Miller also retires. So now I don't have to deal with his contract at least, but now I do have to replace him, despite him just giving us 16 sacks in a single season. For the player upgrades, Keon Coleman does go up to Superstar Dev, so that's awesome to see. There's no other upgrades here on offense. Defensively, what do we got? Rasul Douglas here with Superstar Dev. That's awesome. And Morrow with Star Dev. Any other upgrades? From what I can see, no. 84 overall team. Let's move into the re-signings. For the players ready to negotiate, Greg Rousseau. Again, I'm not going to accept this option. I'd rather just pay him. And everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. So now we have $65 million to spend because Von Miller's contract is gone. Let's move into free agency. After free agency, I got Quandre Diggs on a 2-year deal for free safety, Michael Thomas on a 1-year deal at receiver, and Jake Bailey as a punter. Okay, so I was trying to make a move here for Brandon Ayuk. There's no way someone trades 2 first-round picks for Brandon Ayuk. I wanted to make a move because it seems like Brandon Ayuk wasn't going to be on the Niners. Who is giving up more than 2 first-round picks for Ayuk? I honestly think in real life, he'll be given up for a first-round pick and a couple of other different picks down the board. 2 first-round picks. The AI wants me to give up 3 first-round picks or 2 first-round picks and a second for Ayuk. Nobody's giving that up in real life. Nobody's doing that. Absolutely not. I wanted Ayuk, but I guess Madden AI just doesn't allow realistic trades. In the first round, picking up strong safety Junior Graham out of USC, who is projected to be a 2nd-round pick, but I got picked 29 in the first round, so I'm going to reach on him a little bit. 5'11", 218, hidden dev, 91 speed, 87 acceleration is actually great for his safety. Only C awareness, so he's probably going to have a low overall, but it's fine. A block shedding, A pursuit, A hit power, A tackle. He looks great. In round number 3, picking up middle linebacker Joseph Nash. He's going to start over Deion Jones here. 6'1", 250, hidden dev out of UCLA, 89 speed, 89 acceleration. A's and B's across the board. Now, this is the team after the draft. Michael Thomas is going to be the 2. Curtis Samuel is going to be the 3. Looks like the AI picked up this guy named Chambers. Sean Chambers out of Indiana, 6'5", 226. What was he? It says he's strong arm with 87 throw power. I don't think so, bud. Try again. 87 throw power ain't strong arm. Oh, well, he's a 66 overall. I don't care. You should have at least 90 throw power if you're going to be a strong arm here. Cedric Van Pran, I forgot the AI. Well, not the AI. The Bills got this guy in real life. But Connor McGovern still going to be the starter here. Defensively, Nash is a 74 overall. We're going to move him to the starter over Deion Jones. Graham is a 75. Rasul Douglas is, of course, going to be the 1 here. And then I like everything we got. Got this guy Mason in the 2nd round out of Miami. Najee Mason. He is 346 pounds and he has 96 strength, but he had normal dev, so I didn't show him. But then specialist-wise, I want Dawson Knox to be in the slot, and then James Cook to get all the reps here. I don't want Nash coming off the edge. I don't know why the AI thinks my middle linebacker should be doing that, but it is what it is. I want Nash being the starting sub linebacker, so I'll change that manually. And then for the rest of the defense, I guess I need a new edge rusher as well, so I'll get that later. And then we got everything we want. Let's just move into the midseason mark. 4-2, top of the division. The Jets without Aaron Rodgers are actually doing better now. Offensive points per game is 5th. Defensive points per game is 19th without Von Miller. Scouting national focus, I'm going to do outside linebacker to replace my edge rusher. And then for the negotiations, Greg Rousseau, 24 years old, and we're going to do 4 years, increase his salary a little bit, about 19 or 18 million a year. And he just doesn't want to say no right now. I know that's going to get expensive at the end of the year, so I definitely want to get that done soon. Rasul Douglas, I know he's gonna, will he regress really? I kind of want him here for the rest of the rebuild. He usually lasts a really long time. He's actually really good in simulation. So I'm going to keep him for a 3-year deal. He resigns Teron Johnson. I want him as well. He wants to be historic champs. Maybe that changes this season, so I'll wait on that. Deion Dawkins, honestly, just keep him for the rest of the rebuild. He won't really regress that much. 4-year contract. He resigns with the team. Spencer Brown, he's an 80 overall, but do I really want to pay a normal dev offensive tackle around $11 million a year? Probably not, and I only have 18 million left. Michael Thomas is no, he was just a 1-year gig. And then Reggie Gilliam and Kyer, I don't really want to accept that option if I'm being honest. And then everyone else here, not really interested in. So Greg Rousseau, I'm going to wait to submit that contract. But for now, let's see if we can beat the Ravens and move on to the next week. And we lose to the Ravens here as we still remain at the top of the division because the Jets lost their game. But I want to make sure I get this Gregory Rousseau contract done now. So instead, I'm just going to do a player-friendly deal here that increases his bonus and his salary by a lot. Going to pay him around $21 million a year, and he re-signs on that. Everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. So for now, let's move into the playoffs. And once again, we go 10-7, take the division, and we are 16th in points per game, but 5th in passing offense and 5th in defense without Von Miller. So our defense actually improved without Von Miller, which is a little bit odd. I guess it's because we got 2 new safeties, which really overall helped the passing defense here, and rushing defense did go down. So I guess that makes sense. For the stats and awards, Josh Allen looks great, top 10 QB easily, and then offense 10th, defense 13th. Josh Allen, 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions is surprising for Josh Allen. 102 pass rating, almost 103. I don't know why I'm stuttering so bad over my words, but either way, if you're new to the channel, it's normal. And then James Cook with 1,000 yards, but only 3.7 per carry, which is a bit concerning. I would like him to do a little bit better, but at least I don't have to pay him right now. 9 touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns for Josh Allen, 6 for Ray Davis. I guess he's just taking touchdowns from James Cook, despite James Cook being the starting back and the starting specialist at both third down and power back. But Keon Coleman, 7 touchdowns, 1,200 yards, another great season. Dawson Knox, I think I accidentally started him as the number 1, meant to put Kincaid there, but still 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. Michael Thomas, 7 touchdowns, 800 yards, and Kincaid still getting reps at 591 yards, 3 touchdowns. Curtis Samuel getting next to nothing here. Joseph Nash, as a rookie, gets 140 tackles and 11 tackles for a loss with 1.5 sacks and interception. Amazing rookie season for Joseph Nash here. And then tackles for a loss, 17 for Ed Oliver, 17 for Greg Rousseau, and then sacks only 6 for Greg Rousseau and 5 for Ed Oliver. I mean, I guess our defense is still performing good, but pretty lackluster in sacks here. Didn't Gregory Rousseau have 15.5 sacks with Von Miller last year? I mean, since the workload is just him now, I would assume he would have had more, but still. Interceptions 3 for Christian Benford, and then safeties on the team is 1 for Joseph Nash. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Joseph Nash seems to be like a total baller. Can we beat Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to move on into the divisional round? This is going to be a really hard matchup. I don't think we will, and we do. 24-17 here to face the 12-5 Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson is already to the divisional round in year number 2 of his career, and we beat them again. Wow, okay. Here to face the Ravens again in the conference championship. We are here for our revenge. Will the Ravens go back-to-back, or will we go to the Super Bowl? Here we are against the Ravens. I completely stumbled over my words there again, but 3-0 start for the Ravens. We're finally going to take our first lead here, I believe, of our previous matches as well. In our last matchup, I don't even think we had a single lead, but still 17-17 game here against the Ravens, 20-17. Very competitive here, 22-24 offense. Don't choke this. Key moments for my offense. 3rd down alert. I'm going to hop in here. I don't want to ruin anything, but also maybe it's better if I just play the rest of the game and drain the clock. But for now, I just want to focus on getting this 1st down. 3rd down and 7. What are we going to have here? Maybe if I go step up on the, I messed that up completely. That should have been a pick by Kyle Hamilton. I messed that up completely. That's my fault, and I'm just going to take my field goal in shame. Honestly, it was just a horrible read by me, so Tyler Bass is going to put it up through 23-24 game. Of course, we're still down by 1 point. Hopefully, the Ravens don't score a touchdown on this drive, or else it'll be an 8-point game for us. They're only going to score 3 here, but it's a 4-point game now. Now I have to get a touchdown. 2nd down and 10. They're not sending a huge front here, so can I just roll out? I think I will just roll out with Josh Allen. I know it seems cheesy, but I got to get this 1st down and get out of bounds. 1st and 10 once again. What are we going to have? Oh my gosh, Kyle Hamilton is running clamps all day here. Oh, nice job, Dawson Knox. The hurdle was a bit odd, but we still beat out Trent Simpson there. Let's just run the same same thing again. And then Josh Allen is in his bazooka X factor here. They pushed up on the safety. Dawson Knox should be wide open there. He will be wide open. That's actually Dalton Kincaid, who's going to be there for the touchdown against the Baltimore Ravens. Will that seal the deal, though, against the Ravens? It won't. They seriously came back and put up 3 right before we ended it. Are you kidding me, dude? We're going to have to go to overtime here. I'm going to play key moments. That's so lame. Overtime alert. We need a score. As it says it's the Ravens ball right now on the top of the screen. I don't know why it does, but it's our ball. 1st and 10. Dalton Kincaid should be open here, but I'm just going to run it anyways. I know I was being cheesy. I need to get out of this formation. It's a pretty cheesy formation. 2nd down and 10. We're going to give it here to James Cook. Amazing blocks up the field. James Cook is getting out of bounds here. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, read option with Josh Allen. Just slide, please. 2nd and 5. 2nd down and 5, right back to James Cook. James Cook is going to get dragged down by the defensive tackle. 3rd and 2. 3rd down and 2. What are we going to have? Oh, I should not have done that. I stepped up, but it leads to a 4th and inches, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Are we seriously going to run a halfback dive here? They don't have a nose tackle in, but they don't really have much for the passing defense. They sent a blitz. I'm still going to go right up the middle. 1st and 10 for James Cook. 1st and 10. Play action here to James Cook. What are we going to have? B, can you step up on that, please? Michael Thomas is going to beat out Kyle Hamilton. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. We're going to give it to James Cook here. James Cook is trying to move up the field. 2nd down and 6. They only got a 3-man set here on the defensive line, so I'm just going to go right back to James Cook. It should be a touchdown. Power forward. He's going to stretch forward, and that will be a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills here. I'm just going to let the defense play here, and 4th down alert, they're going to get it. 4th down alert, they're going to get it. Defense needs help. Really? You got them to back-to-back 4th downs? Oh my gosh, I'm just going to go kick a field goal and win the game. 1st and 10, one hell of a game here if you're watching it, but X is wide open. We'll take that. Went right over Trent Simpson's head. Thankfully, he did not jump there. 1st and 10, what are we going to have here? Dalton Kincaid should be open on this. Nice block by Knox. I love the double tight end set here. 1st and 10. I don't know why we're running the ball. Doesn't a field goal end the game? Yeah, I'm just going to line up for a field goal and just end this game. We're iced, but I don't really care. I'm just going to end the game regardless here. It is going up. It is going to be good. And with all that time playing, it has paid off as the Buffalo Bills will be moving on to the Super Bowl here to potentially earn their first ever Super Bowl win. Here to face the 10-7 Philadelphia Eagles. They're coming off a Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, and of course the Bills haven't ever won a Super Bowl, so we're both hungry for one here. And for the team upgrades offensively, Dawson Knox goes up to Superstar Dev, so that's cool for us for the double tight end set. Defensively, Nash goes up to Superstar Dev. Graham has Superstar Dev. Great upgrades for the team. Let's move into the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Eagles. We're in the Dallas Stadium here. 3-0 start for us. 6-0 start. Defense is carrying us right now. Finally, the first touchdown of the game in the 2nd quarter comes. And then huge run from Saquon Barkley there for a touchdown for the Eagles. 19-10, 3rd quarter. Now it's 4th quarter, and they're going to make it 13. Now 27-13. Our defense has just held so well in this game, and that is going to be the reason why the Buffalo Bills win their first ever Super Bowl in year number 2 of this simulation, 27-20, as Keon Coleman gets a ring in his 2nd year in the NFL. James Cook wins the Super Bowl MVP, Lamar Jackson wins the league MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year, and then Joseph Nash wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. In the AFC East, Andy Dalton with the Jets retires, Micah Hyde with the Jets, traitor, goes to the Jets and he retires, Teron Armstead retires, and I'm surprised Michael Thomas doesn't want to retire with a ring because I'm definitely not going to re-sign him. For the players ready to negotiate, I'm not going to accept the option on Kyer, and then everyone else here, Michael Thomas, again, I'm just not going to re-sign him. Everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. Spencer Brown wants, now he wants $14 million a year after going up 1 overall. I'm not doing that. Let's move into free agency. Teron Johnson's here. Did I just completely miss Teron Johnson on my re-signings? I did not want to. Oh yeah, he had no interest with the team. Now he has moderate interest now that we are historic champs. I completely forgot about that. I want Teron Johnson back. After free agency, I got Teron Johnson back, and then I got Rob Havenstein as a temporary 1-year signing. In the first round, I'm picking up wide receiver Daniel Brooks here out of Washington. 6'2", playmaker, 220, hidden dev, 89 speed, 88 acceleration. A little bit slow for a receiver, but not bad. B medium route running and B catching. And then solid athleticism across the board is why I took him. And then in the third round, picking up defensive tackle Andrew Wilbur out of Oregon State. I mean, athletically he sucks, but he has 93 strength, 6'2", 250. hidden dev, a tackle is why I took him, so not bad for a late 3rd round pick. This is the team after the draft. Dawson Knox is going down in overall, so I'm still going to put him in the slot, not at fullback, please. Ray Davis can be at fullback. And then Brooks is going to be the number 2 here. Curtis Samuel is going to be the 3. And then offensively, we look very nice. Defensively, what do we have? Wilbur, since he does have star dev, I'm going to start him over Mason. Solomon, who's this guy? I got Durant in the 2nd round to be an edge rusher. He seems to suck, apparently. So Solomon here, Javon Solomon, supposed to be a speed rusher. Apparently, we picked him up. Well, the Bills actually got him in real life. So we're going to give Solomon a chance here, see how he does at that position. And everyone else here seems pretty good. Like what we got specialist-wise. Benford's in the slot. Oh, that guy. Maybe Solomon shouldn't be there. And then Fashanu. Ooh, Fashanu should be there. But anyways, this is what we have. Dawson Knox in the slot. Brooks, sure, why not move him up? And then Nash is continuing to be the number 1 at sub linebacker. Year number 3. Let's see what we have at the midseason mark. And we are 3-3, 2nd in the division, and our offense just completely sucks now after improving it with a new receiver. So I don't really know how that works, but at least our defense is doing amazing. So let's see actually who the new Jets QB is. I'm curious. The Jets' new QB is JJ McCarthy because I can't fix the contracts in Madden simulation, which pretty much sucks. I can't do anything about that whenever you're importing a roster. You can specifically, but I'm not going to go to each individual team and change each individual contract. But for now, this is what we got for the team ranks. Carolina seems to be balling just out the gate offensively and defensively. What do I even choose for the scouting national focus considering the fact that my offense seems good, but overall it's not doing good? Then my defense is top 5 in almost every stat. I mean, I guess I'm going to go offensive tackle for maybe Rob Havenstein, sure. For the players ready to negotiate, James Cook, highly interested in the team, 5-year contract for him. He resigns about $7 million a year. Christian Benford, even though he doesn't want to be here, he wants to have a mentor at his position. I can fix that. Now I'm going to sign Byron Jones, who has the mentor tag just for Benford's contract. Now Christian Benford does have an interest with the team, so I'm going to give him a 4-year contract, about $5 million a year, and he resigns with the team for a cheaper deal. Kair, he wants to be in a warm weather state. Honestly, if he wants to be, he can walk. If he had an interest with the team, I wouldn't mind. Honestly, how much do I have to pay him? I don't really want to pay him $5 million a year just to be like a 4th string player for us. He can walk. Khalil Shakir doesn't really do anything for me. He can walk. Connor McGovern, $10 million a year. I mean, we're getting to the end of the rebuild, so I might as well just pay him, and he just doesn't even accept the contract after I increase his money. Curtis Samuel, I just don't want. Terrell Bernard, not a bad player, but he just doesn't have an interest with the team, so I don't think I'm going to re-sign him. Then Deion Jones, and I'm not going to pay you $5 million a year to be like a 75 overall by the end of the season. Nicholas Morrow, no, he just doesn't have an interest. Quandre Diggs, should I just keep him for the rest of the rebuild? I mean, I have 1 more year left, so might as well just keep him. And then everyone else here, not really that interested in, other than, do I keep Leo Collins and Rob Havenstein? Should I, just because it's the end of the season? I'll wait for their overall to go down because they're pretty old players, but for now, let's move into the playoff. We go 10-7 and miss the playoffs. Really? Are you kidding me? Coming off a crucial Week 18 loss to the Colts. And then offensively, we're 7th in passing, but offensive points per game is 19. Our defense is easily top 10, so I guess defense don't win championships, let alone make the playoffs at 10-7. That's crazy, dude. Stats and awards, Josh Allen, easily a top 10 QB, 9th best offense in the NFL. So we have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, and we missed the playoffs. EA Sports. It's pay to play. More like pay to win, but still. Josh Allen, 4,100 yards, 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 106 pass rating, his best season yet in this simulation. James Cook, 12 touchdowns, still 3.7 per carry, but we just paid him, so I mean, it's not the worst, but whatever. Keon Coleman, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, and then Daniel Brooks, the rookie, with 3 touchdowns, 900 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. Dawson Knox, 6 touchdowns, 700 yards. I actually like this double tight end strat. It's actually pretty sick in simulation, thanks to whoever commented that. I forgot who it was, but sorry. James Cook with 6 receiving touchdowns as well. That's pretty sick for him. Joseph Nash continues to ball out. 134 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, and then 19 tackles for a loss for Ed Oliver, 16 for Greg Rousseau. Sacks 13 for Greg Rousseau, 12 for Ed Oliver. Both of these guys deserve superstar dev after those seasons. And then 2 interceptions for Teron Johnson. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Ravens, now that we can't stop them in the conference championship, they go to another Super Bowl, and the Eagles lose back-to-back Super Bowls. They're now 0-3 in their most recent Super Bowls here. Lamar Jackson for the Super Bowl MVP, Joe Burrow, league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Bills. In the AFC East, CJ Mosley, Morgan Moses, Shaquille Barrett, and Quandre Diggs all retire. For the team upgrades, Brooks comes with Superstar Dev, so good for him. Maybe he earned it, but either way, he has Superstar Dev. That's what matters. No other upgrades on offense. Defensively, what do we have? Ed Oliver goes up to Superstar Dev. Wilbur comes with Star Dev. Gregory Rousseau just had 13.5 sacks on the season. I think he deserves Superstar Dev. He's been consistent for us. I mean, actually in the previous season, he only had 6 sacks, but he was still doing good. And then the year before that, he had like 15.5 sacks. So I'm fine with giving him Superstar Dev here. Everyone else here for the upgrades, I'm going to need a new free safety. Bishop is not bad for us, but I would just like a overall better free safety. And of course, I need an edge rusher. Maybe I trade for one now that it's the final season, but let's move into the re-signings. For the players ready to negotiate, I'll accept the option on Dalton Kincaid. Kyer can walk. Khalil can walk. Connor McGovern, he was being picky about his contract. I mean, what do I offer him? Do I offer him just player friendly? $13 million a year? Sure. I mean, might as well just have him for the final season. Curtis Samuel can walk. Bernard can walk. Mike Edwards, I don't need. Deion Jones is down. He went from a 77 to a 73. My God, that's terrible. Then Rob Havenstein's contract went from $18 million to $8 million. Now that's something I can get behind. He resigns with the team. And Lael Collins, I mean, I'm not going to draft a 78 overall left guard, so I might as well just sign him for $5 million. And he actually says no, and he's going to free agency. So I'll probably pick him back up in free agency regardless. Let's move into it. Got Hassan Reddick as an edge rusher. That fixed my problem. Got Derrick Henry, because why the hell not? And then Lael Collins is back on the original contract that I gave him. In the first round, getting a new free safety in Juan Jackson out of Ohio State. 6 foot, 206, hit and dev, 89 speed, 86 acceleration, and B's across the board. He seems very balanced. In round number 2, getting a depth middle linebacker, Travis Pierman. Normal depth, but still 227, 90 speed, 88 acceleration. Still good skills across the board. Now this is the team moving into the 4th and final year. James Cook is a higher overall than Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry has an X factor, which actually superstar abilities do take an effect on the actual game simulation. So I'm going to make Derrick Henry the starter for the team. And yeah, team looks amazing for the 4th and final year. Defensively, what do we got? Jackson is a 77 overall. That's really good for rookie, but of course that's with the boost. And then the rest of the team looks good. Brackett, I got this guy in the 3rd round. He sucks apparently. And yeah, team looks good. Hassan Reddick's playing right end, even though he's listed as a left end. Guess it really doesn't matter that much. Jackson, you will not be playing the slot, please. Cummins, baby. Cummins is going to be coming in the 2nd there, and then Derrick Henry's going to be the 3rd down back as well. So, team looks great. Still an 84 overall team, which is a bit surprising, but 4th and final year, we can easily make the playoffs. Let's move into it. And we are back at the top of the division here, 12-5, top the division above the Dolphins. Team ranks, everything's in the green. You love to see it. And it's a very rare event for me to have everything in the green, so I know someone's going to ask about my playbooks. Vertical zone run, 4-3/4, Dallas offense, Buffalo defense. This entire time, I've been running vertical zone run and then Dallas offense, but in my past simulations, I've been running base 4-3 and not 4-3/4. So I guess that makes all the difference in Buffalo's playbook. Stats and awards, Josh Allen still looks great. His pass rating continues to improve. 2nd best offense, 3rd best defense in the NFL, 4,400 yards, 28 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions, 109 pass rating. Derrick Henry with 17 touchdowns, 4.5 per carry, almost 1,500 yards. He's lower overall than James Cook, but he still produces better stats here. Josh Allen with 500 yards, 6 touchdowns. James Cook with 3 touchdowns, but not really many attempts, but only 2.1 per carry, and that's definitely not good. Keon Coleman with 98 receptions, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Dawson Knox with 3 touchdowns, 900 yards in the slot. And then Daniel Brooks with 900 yards, 11 touchdowns. Kincaid is the starting tight end, and he has 4 touchdowns, 800 yards. So we've got a rotational tight end set, but it looks like Dawson Knox put up the better, well, not really better numbers. 1 less reception, more yards, and then 1 less touchdown. So it's cool having those 2 rotate. Defensively, Joseph Nash with 133 tackles. He continues to be a beast. Tackles for a loss, 16 for Hassan Reddick, sacks, 12 for Gregory Rousseau. Well, Greg Rousseau, my bad, not Gregory. And then Hassan Reddick with 8 sacks, 6.5 for Najee Mason, and 6 for Ed Oliver. 3 interceptions for Rasul Douglas. Safeties on the team is going to be 1 for Najee Mason, and defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the Miami Dolphins, aka a division rival, to move on to the divisional round in year number 4? And we do. 38-17 here to face the 15-2 in the Chiefs in the divisional round. Of course, we have to play them again in the divisional round, and this time we lose to them. But it's fine. I mean, it's a normal thing for the Bills to lose to the Chiefs in the divisional round, so I guess Madden really is realistic. But hey, we won the Super Bowl in year number 2. We got Keon Coleman a ring. This is a successful rebuild, and I think I built a pretty sick team. So make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below which team you would would want me to rebuild next. And Jackson also has superstar dev. So I got 2 new superstar safeties to replace Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. I would definitely consider that to be a successful rebuild. And apart from that, guys, I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.